ready to purchase.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the At Home with Charlene show. I'm Charlene, and I want to thank you so much for joining us and tuning in to us every Thursday live from 2 to 3 on KHTS 98.1. And I have a special guest with me today, Debbie Briscoe with One Realty Group.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having me.
Love to have you. Known Debbie a long time, and we have lots of great information that we're going to share with you today. Some statistical data about the Santa Clarita area, just some great information to help you decide on your home purchasing, home selling, and just some good information in the area that you will be happy that we shared with you.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, there was a big grand opening this morning for our local Nordstrom rack.
Yay!
So I know there's a lot of people that have been excited about that, looking forward to it. I drove by it this morning. I didn't see a lot of people there. I just saw a few posts on Facebook later that it looked like a packed parking lot. So
Yes, everybody's been anxiously waiting for that store to open. So after the show, I'm headed over there myself.
there you go. I heard this morning they had a band playing. They were giving out some gift cards for the area, a $1,000 shopping spree. I don't know if anyone had won that or not, but I thought that was a nice giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great information for us to share with you guys today. We talk a lot about the mortgage and real estate market, and I think we're going to talk about a lot of statistical data today that will definitely be worth your time listening. The one thing that I wanted to start off with was how many properties we've closed from 2018 versus 2017. We don't have a lot of inventory. You've probably heard that a lot on the show. There's a lack of inventory,
Yes.
not a lot of property on the market. In 2017, we had 108 properties that closed in the first quarter. In 2018, we had 750 properties that closed in the first quarter. So if we thought we didn't have enough inventory in 2017 for the first quarter, we really didn't have a lot of inventory in 2018 in the first quarter.
That's right. It was a little slow start.
Have you noticed that this quarter?
Yes, there are less homes on the market. However, it's still a great time to buy. If you're a buyer in the market, the interest rates are still great. If you are a seller sitting on the fence, gosh, I wouldn't sit on the fence any longer. I would get off the fence and I'd put my property on the market and I would get the highest prices we've seen in a long time, and you will probably have multiple offers on your home.
And I mean, even though we work in this industry, if I were contemplating moving, or you might have kids that are coming out of school this summer and they're going to be graduating from high school, and you're thinking about relocating to another area, this is definitely the time to put your property on the market. We don't have the inventory, and our average days on market for the first quarter of 2018 is 35 days.
Yeah, and I would say that's even rare because they're going faster than that. I just had one this weekend, 3 days, multiple offers.
So you put it on the market in 3 days, you already had a buyer and it was in escrow.
Yes, I had buyers calling me before we were scheduling showings, as soon as the sign went up.
Yeah,
So-
and in 2017 first quarter, average days on market was 55 days.
Yeah.
So I want to say they're probably even going a little bit faster than that too now.
Yes, they are. And as we enter the spring, summer months, that is usually our busiest season. So this is the ideal time to get your home on the market if you are considering making a move.
And I think this is the ideal time because as we're coming to the summer months and kids are coming out of school, whether it be elementary school, junior high, high school, whatever it may be, people are just thinking, okay, let's let the kids finish up school
Yes.
here. Maybe we're going to move to another school district and we don't want to move them. Let's let them finish over here. We just typically see a lot of activities spring and summer. That's
Yes,
just
you're right.
the real estate market, the booming time, I guess, for
Right,
everybody.
'cause people want to, and they want to wrap it up before school starts again.
Yeah, they want to be moved in. They want to be organized. They want to have everything said and done. Kids go
Yeah.
back to school and everybody's everybody's settled in
Correct.
and ready to go. Now, there was one other thing that we were talking about before the show that we thought was definitely worth sharing with everybody. And that was the list price in 2017 versus 2018. The average list price in 2017 was $510,092. Then we come to first quarter 2018, and the average list price was $566,807. And we are seeing an 11.5 increase in list price and in sales price.
Right. That's why if you are thinking of selling, get off the fence.
I did a couple quick calculations here, and I did the difference in list price between 2017 and 2018 was $56,715.
Yeah.
And the difference in our sales price between 2018 and 2017 was $57,408.
Right.
In 1 year time, between first quarter 2017, first quarter 2018, you had an opportunity, if you were a buyer, to, and obviously an opportunity if you're a seller,
Yes.
to gain just a little over $50,000 in equity in 1 year.
Right. You can't save fast enough.
You can't save fast enough. I don't know anywhere else you would be able to make that kind of
Right.
of an income.
A lot of people, buyers, are kind of in the mindset, well, I need to save more. I need to save more. Maybe in some cases you do, but in some cases you don't. What you need to do is get in touch with a lender, like get in touch with you, and see where you're at. Can you make that purchase with what you have now? Because you can't. The typical family cannot save that much money a year to put down on a home. So
I know, and I'll talk to a lot of buyers too, and they'll say, well, maybe I need to save a little bit more. But what I want to stress to people is that you don't necessarily have to save.
right.
You could come in with 3.5%, 5% down, and take advantage of the market we're in. Take advantage of the fact that you are going to appreciate at a much higher rate than we would normally see in this typical market that we're in, with a lack of inventory and,
Right. What I tell a lot of buyers, especially first-time buyers, you have to just get in the game.
yeah.
Get in the game however you can. Don't try to purchase your last house first.
So here's what I would say. If you were a buyer last year and you waited, you lost 50 something thousand dollars in equity between last year and this year, maybe because you thought you needed to save a little bit more.
Right.
Or maybe you just thought it wasn't the right time, but it really is the right time.
It is. It is. It's a perfect storm for sellers and buyers. Sellers are getting higher dollar amounts on their homes than they have seen in years, and buyers are still able to lock in their rates with those low interest rates we have.
We had I had a couple other little statistics that I wanted to share too. And this benefits a buyer and this benefits a seller. So if we have a 27% absorption rate in our market, anything that's higher than 20% would be considered a seller's market.
Yes.
So we're definitely in a seller's market, but in my opinion, I believe it's also a benefit to the buyer as well, because yes, we do have a little bit lack of inventory, but the inventory that we're getting and the increase in value that is being obtained, it's also benefiting the buyer.
Yes.
In a typical buyer's market, we'd have 1,500 or more properties on the market.
Right.
Right? Because there'd be more inventory. There's a lot more property to choose from. It's going to be sitting a little bit longer. So some of those statistics would be a little bit off.
We're a long ways from getting that that many properties on the market, though.
I think we're probably a couple years away from that
Yes,
happening.
Probably. I think you're right.
So if you're a buyer and you're thinking that it is going to turn into a buyer's market in a short period of time, I'm thinking that it's going to take a little bit longer than that to technically turn over to a buyer's market. So don't wait.
Right. I think you're right. I think the best thing you can do if you are thinking of purchasing a home is to just reach out to you, get qualified, find out what you can purchase, and compare that to what you're renting. How much is your rent?
And
It's very difficult to find a rental right now.
I do know a couple people looking for rentals, and they're just not out there. And what I've been told too about the rental properties is there's a list, and they're looking for, and there could be anywhere from 20 to 30 people on this list.
Yeah.
And they're going to take the application, they're going to take a copy of the credit report, they're going to look for the best renter. 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 30 people will only be able to be renting that
I
one
know.
property.
Well, I think the rental market is also maybe why we have such low inventory for sales, because homeowners, now, a lot of them now are like, oh, I'm keeping my current home and I'm going to rent it and then purchase something else. So rather than a lot of people selling, which traditionally they always did, because rents are so expensive as well, they're keeping that home, they're renting them out, and then buying something else, which makes less inventory for us.
You guys are tuning into the At Home with Charlene show Thursdays on 98.1 on KHTS. You're listening to Charlene and Debbie today, and we're going over statistical data. We're going over kind of where we think the market is, where it's going. We're in a beneficial market for both buyer and sellers. You know, one good thing that we should also bring up too is if you're a current homeowner, why not invest in an investment property?
Oh, yeah.
Get an investment property and turn it into a rental. We are short on rental properties.
Right.
You know, let's create a rental for yourself, and let's help some of the people who are looking for rental properties also.
Yes, and set yourself up for retirement a little bit better.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You know, if you, I don't know. I think from being in the industry so long, there really is just no other type of investment like we have the opportunity to do, especially with real estate and living in the United States. We have that ability and that opportunity.
Right. And again, if you're a seller, you want to look closely. You want to reach out to an agent, get a net sheet. What would I actually make on my home if I went to sell it? A lot of people haven't taken the time to do that. That's something that my business partner and I, Charlie, provide all the time. We just meet with people. We give them a net sheet. Hey, if you sold your home, it would sell for this much. Sometimes people don't even realize how much their home will sell for if they've had it for many years. And wow, that's
So what you're saying that you will provide is, let's just say I'm thinking, oh, you know what, I'm thinking about selling my property, but I'm not quite sure. You know, I don't know what I'm going to make. I don't know really what my property is worth. So what you're saying is if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'm thinking about selling, you can give them an idea of what they could get for their property as far as the list price.
Absolutely.
And what kind of net proceeds they would get off of
Absolutely. That we do that all the time for people. We not only just tell them what their home may be worth. We meet with them, we show them all the comps in the neighborhood and what their home would sell for, and then we take what they owe on their home and we run a net sheet from them. Escrow runs a net sheet so it's true numbers for them so they can see exactly what they can expect to come out when they do sell their home, with all escrow fees, title fees. There's a lot involved in selling your home, but we run those sheets for them and give them to them so they can make a really great educated decision. Is this a good time for them to move or not?
And this is just a complimentary service. This
Right.
is something that you provide to all your clients.
Right.
And this just gives them an idea of what their potential is.
Yes. You have to know what you're going to come out with so that you can make a decision. Is it a good time for you to move or not? It's not all about like, well, my home is worth this. You have to take into all those numbers and how much do I have? And then what we do with that is if they decide to move forward, we send that to the lender and you take a look at it, and then you know what they have to expect out of their home, and we put a plan together for them.
Right. So for us on the lending side, if they're selling a property and then they're going to turn around and purchase a new property, we have to know what they're netting on the old property so we can kind of factor in what their down payment's going to be.
Yes.
What do we have to put towards the loan? What do we have to put towards the closing costs? Things like that. That will help the buyer overall and the seller.
Yeah. We want them to be comfortable through this entire process. And knowing your numbers and knowing where you're at makes you feel a lot more comfortable on getting to that end plan.
Now, in a typical market, we would say we'd have 3 to 6 months of inventory in a typical market.
Yeah.
So if we have a lack of inventory and we only have about 1.7 months worth of inventory, that means we need we need people to sell their homes. We need people to put some inventory into the market. We need to generate some more properties out there. So we have tons of pre-approved buyers.
I know.
And we don't have properties for them to go into.
Right.
So we would love for that inventory to be available.
We would love it. But, saying that, what happens is that sellers, they want to move, they list their home, but they're afraid to, that maybe they even get an offer, but they're kind of afraid to move on with the process until they've found their home that they're moving to. And I understand that is a frightening process, like, oh, what if we don't find something? But I don't know anyone who's never found a home. There is a home, but what I experience with those sellers that are afraid to take a leap is that we go out and we find a home for them, but yet we can't get them in as a buyer because they haven't moved the process of selling their home along enough where they're really a good, solid buyer.
And, I usually will tell my buyers when I approve a buyer and I know that they have a home that has to be sold before they can purchase this one. I said, I'll always tell them, don't be afraid to list your property because you can list your property upon contingency of you finding home of choice. God forbid you didn't find your home of choice. That protection that you have in your listing contract gives you the opportunity to take a little bit of a time to find your new
Well,
purchase.
there's also, but when the inventory is so tight, there's also ways to help protect them in their home, to stay in their home so they're not homeless in 30 days when they haven't found a home. It's just really working with a good agent that can put a plan together for you. And, I've gone out with sellers and there's 3 or 4 homes they like, but we're just not ready to get it. They don't have their home in escrow and all that. So then they realize, oh, if my home was in escrow, I could get. So you're a stronger buyer at that point, but there's ways to help them get through those hurdles. They shouldn't be afraid to put their home on the market.
And I think it's important to make sure you're working with an experienced agent because an experienced agent who has sold many properties and like you sell many properties a year. You don't just sell a few properties here and there. You have a portfolio and you have clientele and you have a significant amount of business that you do. And with that comes all of the experience that goes along with all those closed transactions.
That is very important in today's market, it really is. You need someone that is experienced, that has dealt with multiple contingencies, meaning your buyer is selling their home and they have contingencies and all those things need to be looked at when you're helping that seller choose a buyer and when you're helping that seller with their purchase. So you do need an experienced
And I
agent.
agree with that too, because you can have, just so we could keep it so everyone understands is, there might be 2 families that have to close before you're able to close on your property. So there could be multiple families in that loop of that transaction. And there's a lot of times where I see it too, that maybe an unexperienced loan officer would lock in that buyer, not realizing we're contingent upon these 2 other families closing prior to our loan closing.
Well, you and I had that. We had like a 4-way deal like that. It was 3 or 4 families involved, and we were the first ones ready to go.
We were, but we were also calling
job.
and staying in touch with the previous legs of our transaction because we want to protect our buyer and the lock period that we have. You don't want to lock too soon. Anyway, we don't want to go too much into that, but there's the experience really helps navigate a transaction so it doesn't cost the buyer and it doesn't cost the seller for an unnecessary mistake.
Correct.
That's the
It's
easiest
very
way.
important.
That's the easiest way to put it.
You're right.
So, I mean, there's just so much to do on our side, and we just need to make sure that we are handling the situation and we're walking our clients through that process and we're educating them.
Yeah.
I think the education part of it and having them understand that process is key as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if they're not understanding and they're not being walked through that process, it could be a little...
Yeah, and communicating with them every step of the way so they know what's going on. And there it takes a little bit of the angst away from them.
on the process, and maybe it's a first-time home buyer or whatever it may be. But okay, you guys, stay tuned in. We're going to come back. We have lots of other information to share. Stay with us, and we'll just join you in a minute.
The city of Santa Clarita has so much going on this year. Be on the lookout for amazing events happening throughout the year, including the Cowboy Festival, concerts in the park, Thursdays at Newhall, and the Santa Clarita Marathon. There are also a number of fun activities and things to do year-round, including outdoor recreation, hiking and bike trails, adult classes, art exhibits, youth sports programs, and more. You can even sign up to be a volunteer. Learn more at santa-clarita.com.
Weekends are now exciting in Santa Clarita as Persia Hookah Lounge hosts its House of Entertainment every weekend night from 8 to 11. Thursdays feature a DJ on the hookah patio. Stop by Fridays for performances by Belly Dancer of the Universe winner Jasmina, or Saturdays to hear great local live bands. Persia Lounge also caters for both homes and businesses, starting as low as $8. Discover Persia Hookah Lounge on Main Street, where it's all happening in Old Town Newhall. Persia-lounge.com.
Moving Day North Los Angeles, a walk for Parkinson's, is coming up April 28th at Valencia Heritage Park. More than just a walk, Moving Day is a fun and inspiring fundraising event that celebrates exercise and unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation for Moving Day North Los Angeles, Saturday, April 28th. Register today at movingdaynorthla.org.
Indulge yourself in the world of wine at the 6th Annual Sierra Pelona Valley Wine Festival, Saturday, April 21st from noon till 4 p.m., benefiting the Zonta Club of SCV. Get your Chardonnay on with live music, gourmet food, handmade crafts, and the best local wine Santa Clarita has to offer at Reyes Winery. Dionysus dilettantes and wine connoisseurs alike will enjoy this festival. Sponsored by Reyes Winery, Pepsi, Anheuser-Busch, main stage sponsor SCV Advanced Audiology, and VIP sponsors California Bank and Trust and Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. Visit reyeswinery.com to purchase tickets.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Drop in for a new virtual reality experience. DC Superheroes Drop of Doom VR. For a limited time at Six Flags Magic Mountain, take a ride on one of the world's tallest and fastest drop tower rides. Using special VR headsets, view the action while fully immersed in a 360-degree virtual world, plunging 400 feet at 85 miles per hour on Lex Luthor Drop of Doom. Plus, spend the day getting your fill of thrills on the most thrilling coasters in the world, like Twisted Colossus, Goliath, and more. Only at the thrill capital of the world. Are you ready for your chance at a day of Six Flags thrills for free? Keep listening to KHTS 98.1 and AM 1220 for your chance to win. Not a winner? You can still get the best deals on tickets, season passes, and memberships when you visit sixflags.com today. It's the all-new virtual reality experience at Six Flags Superheroes Drop of Doom VR, only at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Welcome back to the At Home with Charlene show with Charlene, live Thursdays 2 to 3 on KHTS 98.1. My special guest today, Debbie Briscoe with One Realty Group. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And we were talking in our first segment about the market, where we were 2017, where we've been 2018. We have a market that benefits both sellers and buyers. Buyers for just the pure increase in value from one year to the next that you're going to establish. And for a seller, top dollar, multiple offers. And it's just a market where you can't go wrong. And there's all the years of being involved in real estate, 23 plus years now, I don't know of anything else that you can make this type of investment in.
Right.
And build a legacy for your family. We talked about that a little bit last week too. Just really putting a foundation down for your kids and for years to come as well. One other thing I think is so important for us to kind of chat about and let our audience know is a lot of the new developments that are coming out.
Right.
A lot of the new communities that are going to be available in our area and what is going to be encumbrance in those communities. There was one that we were looking into, and this is the newest development, or one of the newer developments that was just approved.
Right.
This is going to be the 5 Point community from Orange County. This is the 21,500 home development that's going to be built behind Magic Mountain, up into the hill, maybe up a
Right.
little bit behind Stevenson's Ranch. It's going to circumference that
Near the
whole
126.
near 126. It's going to be a huge community back there. I mean, you can only imagine with 21,500 homes what that's going to bring. It's my understanding that this is going to be a green community.
Yes, that's what I went to a city meeting about it, and that's what they're saying. Meaning they're having solar. I think all the houses will be set with solar and charging stations for electric cars.
Yeah, I read that too, and I thought, wow, that they're going to have solar panels on all the properties. They're going to have electric plug-ins for electric cars in all the garages. It's a go green community.
Right.
We're gonna have to go green at some point. And I believe the first phase, there are going to be different villages from what I was looking at on the map, and the different villages. I guess the first phase that was approved is going to be Landmark and Mission villages.
Okay.
And that first phase, I believe, is going to be about 5,500 homes.
Right. That's a lot. For the first phase.
Yeah,
Sometimes they
so-
don't release that many at once. but-
Yeah, and they might come out with multiple phases as most development companies do.
Right.
And I think we were talking that a project was approved July of 2017. Grading was starting in October of last year. And we were thinking, what was the dates for this?
I heard that they were going to start the building in 2019, and then move-in times would be late 2020. Is
Right.
what they're projecting.
And what would you say is important about if a client wanted to walk into a new development? Why would it be important for them to come with an agent that they're working with?
Yeah.
I think it's important that we bring that up.
Yes. So several times I have clients and we're out looking and they would like to check out the new construction. Absolutely. But it's always important the first time you go there to bring your agent with you. It's good to have somebody that represents you on your side because at the developments, the contracts are done straight with the development itself. They have some restrictive timelines as far as deposits and if they're refundable or they may not be refundable. Agents typically, like myself, have already visited all the communities, and we've looked into what all the timelines and guidelines are in that community, so we're able to sort of guide our clients through the process and what to expect. But it's absolutely important to bring your own agent the very first time you visit.
And one thing I want to bring up too is I know when a lot of these new developments open, what they'll do is they'll hold a big broker open and bring all the agents in the area to do a presentation for them, or to give them, like you said, you go to the city or whatever it may be, and they talk about the new developments that are coming in. So if your client says, we might be interested in new construction, and we want a price point of $550 or $600,000, you're going to know.
Yeah, because they do hold big open houses, just brokers only, to come in and invite us in, and they let us know about all the communities and give us a little bit of the ins and outs that we should share with our clients. They encourage us to bring our clients in. So they like to work with us. It's good for them to have another person involved to reach out to during it and, run things by you. Hey, your just timelines and where we're at with everything.
And I think it's good for a buyer, if they're buying in a new development, to have the representation of their agent.
Yes.
Because developers are great and they bring great products, but you always want your own representation. You want to thoroughly understand the contract. You want to thoroughly understand the deposit because, like we were saying, most deposits on a new construction have a minimal time frame and it becomes non-refundable.
Correct. It could be like 7 days. So it is important to have your agent with you representing you, and they always request that you be pre-approved by their preferred lender, which is fine. You can do that. Just so you know, you don't have to use that lender. You
Right.
can use whatever lender you're comfortable with. They can use you. And you've done many of those transactions.
Yeah, and a lot of the times we'll have already gone over to some of these new developments, introduced ourselves, let them know what type of business we do, that we've been in the business for a long time in the area, and build a little rapport with them as well, so they know that if they do get a pre-approval letter from us, that it's a go on
Right.
the loan side too. So we try to do that as well. We have a couple other communities too that we wanted to bring up. The Highlands behind Tesoro. There's going to be a gated community over there, and that's going to include senior living as well.
Right.
And from what I'm understanding, that's going to be a huge multi-phase community that's going to be coming in over there.
Yeah, that'll be nice over there.
I think it's great that they're including all of these senior living areas as well, because I mean, what if you want to live in one of these communities, you and your family, and maybe you want to keep your parents close or whatever it may
Yeah.
be, and you could keep them in the senior living side.
Yeah, there's also another area that is developing a senior area over in Fair Oaks on the Alianto. Is that how you say it? Alianto?
Alianto, I
Yes,
believe it is.
That's it. They have a community for 55 and older, but it's like a resort, sort of similar to the Palm Desert type resort down there where people would buy. They have their own gate and entrance, so they have their own private gate, own private pool, social club, I think they call it.
Yeah, but that's great
I
because
know.
the senior facilities, I mean, you could go down there. They have probably bingo. They probably have games and interaction and dinners and lunches. And,
Yeah.
you know, they could go down there and they can have a great time. And I just think it's so nice because as we're researching a lot of these communities, I see that there's senior living or 55 over and just different things like that where they're really taking that into consideration.
Yeah, I think it's great. They have their own pool. I mean, let's face it, when you don't have little kids anymore, and you might be, in that senior bracket there, you may not want to go to the community pool with tons of little kids and blow up ducks.
And kids jumping on
Yeah,
you
and squirt
and
guns.
things like that.
You might want to go there, relax a little bit differently, at this time.
Hence,
so.
hence the Palm Desert,
Yeah.
Palm Beach resort
But
feel.
yet, there's still children in the area, in the neighborhood. It's not like it's,
Right.
it's other
But you've
families
done
around.
you've done your time.
Yeah, but you might not want to go to the pool with everybody and their
Yeah.
blow up toys.
You've raised your kids, and your grandkids can visit, and you can go and enjoy your pool time
Yeah.
without being splashed.
So it's got its own pool and stuff. I think it's great.
Well, you guys are tuning into the At Home with Charlene show live on Thursdays 2 to 3 on KHTS 98.1. We're always bringing great information to you. This particular show, we're bringing lots of information in the community, lots of opportunities on why you should be selling, why you should be purchasing, the benefits of both. We're also talking about new developments that are coming to the area, the importance of bringing your agents with you when you go look at these communities. Five Knolls, we were talking about that off Golden Valley and Newhall Ranch Road. I believe that project's almost fully completed. There might be a few left.
Yeah, there might be a few. I don't know, just very slim pickings over there on brand new stuff, because we're actually seeing people starting to sell there.
I was going to say that
Yeah.
you start seeing the selling
they're
happening.
in 1 year and they're selling, maybe relocating or something. So we're starting to see resales in there already.
And off to the side of the Five Knolls, I think they're going to start building a senior center, a boys and girls club over there as well. So there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth in that area. And I think what Debbie, you were just talking about a little bit earlier too, was that senior development center. Also, the party homes with Cresta off Fair Oaks. They're going to have single family homes.
Yes.
And single family homes are sought after, and single family homes are also a rare find,
Right.
or a little bit harder to find.
Right. You mean, yes, the single story?
Sorry.
Single story.
Not single family, but single story homes. Yes, because a lot of people.
They have some beautiful single story homes there. Actually, those models are gorgeous.
When I was looking up the plans for that community and I saw the pool rec
it's like a
center,
resort.
it is a resort style living. So if you guys are listening and you want a resort style living, the Party Homes, Alianto, Cresta community, that's going to be where that senior development is going to be as well. Beautiful homes and beautiful grounds that are going to be shared, and they really did pitch that as a resort style living.
And for the people that commute, it's like 1 minute from the freeway, hop right on the 14 freeway right there. So it's great for commuters, the whole area. And they're doing lots of other building with the whole Target area up there. There's more stores going in and more restaurants.
Yeah, I mean, the more that I was looking into kind of what has been going on in Santa Clarita, I just thought there's a lot of development going on. And I'm just hoping, too, that the ways around our community are still going to flow well.
Yeah. Well, they are developing some new roads. I know off of Plum with the Tool Brothers up there. They're developing a new road that connects to Plum, so that'll be helpful.
Right, so you can divert traffic as much as we can and send them around in different areas.
Yep.
I just think it's great because this is these projects are gonna bring inventory to the market. It's gonna create a little bit more a choice for clients too, and it's just gonna bring a little bit more to the community. And we have this other complex coming available or coming up off of Sand Canyon.
Right.
The Sand Canyon Plaza development. I think it's replacing the old mobile home park off Soledad and Sand Canyon.
Yes, mobile homes are all gone. I've seen it.
So that's going to come out. That's going to have 148 single homes, 120 condos, and 312 apartments.
And is that where they have some assisted living as well? With that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that one has senior assisted living too. Is there a benefit to builders by including a senior living facility?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Because I thought this is probably the third or fourth new development that's coming into play where they're making it a combo of multiple different.
Well, maybe because they lowered the senior age to 55. There's so many more
We're going to have
seniors.
a lot more. Maybe that's true. Maybe there's a lot more seniors in Santa Clarita that need housing,
yeah,
right?
Well, it's a great place to live. People raise their families here, and they still stay here. They stay, and their families go off and buy homes here too, and the parents stay, and it's just a great place to live. So
I think we have one of the best places to live. Santa Clarita really has everything because I grew up in Simi. I went to school in Simi, and it's just kind of a sleeper town. Yeah. I love Simi too. I grew up there, and my roots are there. But out here, we just have so much more shopping and restaurants and day-to-day things to do, and our malls booming. There's not many.
Yeah.
There's not many. I don't know, I guess empty slots in the mall. I mean, they're all full. We have lots of people eating out. We have lots of people shopping. I mean, we really do have a great community.
Yes. Another area that they're developing is the Lost Canyon area, kind of near where the Sand Canyon Plaza is. So I know that that's in the works too, and there's going to be some housing there, some commercial, more, from what I understand, sort of a live where you work community, maybe some condos on top of some office space buildings or retail buildings. And there's also going to be a Metrolink there, that station that goes straight to Burbank Airport. So that'll be nice. Yeah.
Will that link down to LA? Will the Metrolink run down there?
Yeah, I think
it'll run through.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say
we'll
that.
have to look into that.
I've ridden it once.
Hey, at least you've written it. At least you've written it.
Yeah, but that'll be nice to just
And I heard in the Sand Canyon Plaza area, this was the one that's going to replace the mobile home park off Soledad in Sand Canyon, that there may be a possible PF Chang's that's going to go in there.
Oh, that would be great.
And they're looking to put in higher end dining. They want the higher end restaurants to go in over there. They want to have that sophisticated lifestyle. They want to kind of develop that area.
That would be great.
In that manner over there. So I
Right.
was thinking,
That'll steal some business away from In-N-Out. In-N-Out dominates over there.
PF Chang's, In-N-Out.
Yeah.
We got two different dining
In-N-Out is
experiences.
delicious, and my kid would starve to death if we didn't have In-N-Out. But
I had In-N-Out this afternoon, actually.
yeah.
I haven't had it for a while, but my daughter had half day and said, I picked her and her friend up and said, where do you guys want to go to eat? And they said In-N-Out. And I said, okay.
Yeah, but that In-N-Out is busy from the second it opens until it closes, like all of them. But right there, there's not a lot of other choices.
You think that's because there's not a lot of diversity as far as restaurants in the area?
It's a great location for them. I mean, it's off the freeway, gas up, In-N-Out, back on the freeway.
Yeah.
So
it's in between, maybe here on their way to Palmdale, Pear Blossom on your way off to
the desert for the weekend, or the lake.
Laughlin, Vegas.
Yeah.
Going off in those directions. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. Lots of information that we have to share today. Thanks for tuning in and stay with us.
Little Eye Leaders is the newest preschool in the Santa Clarita Valley. At Little Eye Leaders, our outstanding teachers lead with intellect, perspective, and heart. That means our programs provide a warm, nurturing atmosphere to meet the unique needs of each child. We believe that play is a powerful form of learning for young children. That's why our kids have every opportunity to learn through the magic and excitement of play. Parents, schedule a tour today by calling 303-0400 or online at littleeyeleaders.org.
Something big is coming to Castaic.
Is it a dinosaur, Bob?
No, Blanche.
Is it the 2020 Olympics?
No.
I know. We're finally hosting the World Cup.
No, silly. They're building Castaic High.
Bob, no way.
Go visit CastaicHighProject.com. You'll get all the latest details.
What's that web address again, Bob?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Again?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Bigger than a dinosaur?
That's right. CastaicHighProject.com.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Giddy up. Time to dust off your boots and throw on your cowboy hat. The 25th Annual Santa Clarita Cowboy Festival, presented by Heritage Sierra Medical Group, is coming to Old Town Newhall April 19th through 22nd. Set at the historic William S. Hart Park, the Cowboy Festival will feature live performances, authentic cowboy gear, and mouth-watering peach cobbler. General admission is free, and there will be ticketed performances in Newhall from Honey County, Hot Club of Cowtown, and more. For more information, visit cowboyfestival.org.
At Jersey Mike's, we make a sub above. Bread baked fresh, veggies served crisp, meat and cheese sliced on the spot. Then comes the juice. Red wine vinegar and olive oil blended to perfection is what makes a Jersey Mike's sub a sub to behold. And beholding? Well, we think that works best with two hands. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Your Santa Clarita Jersey Mike's, a proud sponsor of Santa Clarita Sports.
One more day, one more time.
We've been singing their songs for decades, and now Time in Rio brings their musical magic to the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center on Saturday, June 30th.
What a beautiful mess I'm in. Spending all my time.
KHTS is proud to present Diamond Rio, 4-time Country Group of the Year, 23 top 10 hits. Experience Grammy Award winners Diamond Rio like you've never seen them before, right here in our hometown at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center.
I'd hold you every second. Say a million I love you.
Country legends Diamond Rio, and featuring our one and only local singing sensation, Savannah Burrows. Savannah Burrows and Diamond Rio, together at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center, Saturday, June 30th.
One more time.
Hurry, tickets are going fast. Visit canyonspac.com to purchase yours. canyonspac.com for Diamond Rio.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in. It's the At Home with Charlene show with Charlene on Thursdays live 2 to 3 on 98.1. My special guest today, Debbie Briscoe with One Realty Group, and we've had a lot of information to share today.
I know. It's gone by fast, though.
I think our show has gone by fast. I hope we've had tons of information that we've been able to bring to you. We wanted to finish up our show today with the importance of your loan pre-approval. And we just want to make sure that the public knows how important it is to get pre-approved for your mortgage before you go shopping with your agent for a property, because you want to make sure that you're approved for what you're going to go look for. Let's just say you have your hopes set on a $700,000 purchase price, and maybe your purchase price is going to be $500,000. We want to make sure that's in place so you're looking at the property that fits your budget and fits your approval.
Yes. That is the first thing. When a buyer reaches out to us, Charlie or I, we sit with them and we connect them with you as a lender, and that's the first place you start. Speak to the lender. Let's see what we qualify for, what you qualify for, so that we know what we're looking for in our searches. So I set up the right criteria in a search for them.
And you want to make sure that the approval's in place. There's not anything funky that popped up on the credit report. There isn't something that needs to be worked on ahead of time. So you find that home of choice, and then all of a sudden we go to look at the loan and we're like, oh, we have a little problem that we need to fix, or, there's a little hurdle that we need to overcome. And we want to make sure that we don't have a buyer that runs into that problem. There's a solution for everything, but we want to make sure we handle that ahead of time, and we don't put somebody in a position where they can't purchase and their heart's set on something.
Correct. We don't want to get them out there with getting their hopes up, and then we can't. So what you do, I know, always, that's why we work together with you, is that you do a thorough pre-approval. You just don't look at their one pay stub and say, okay, you can buy this. It's everything. You've run their credit. You've done everything. So if there is anything, we address it right away rather than waiting till we have a problem.
And, you don't want somebody to be disappointed. If we're thorough on our side with asking the questions and asking all the detailed information and gathering that documentation and putting it in place, the last thing we want to do is disappoint a buyer whose heart is set on purchasing. We want them to be ready to go. So when they find that home of choice and they go to put their offer in, 99.9% of the time we're closing unless some unforeseen circumstance comes up that's out of our control.
Well, it goes back to working with people that have experience. And when you work with people that have experience and are good at what they do, then we put together a full package for this person, when the buyer, and when we submit an offer to them, you are following up with a phone call to the other agent. Because as a listing agent, when we gather offers, one of the very first things we look at is, who's the lender? Is this a solid lender? Is this a solid, did they do a full pre-approval on that buyer?
And unfortunately, we know that there's several out there that don't necessarily ask for all the documentation, but will issue a pre-approval letter that's not technically a true pre-approval letter. And so we just want to make sure that those T's are crossed, I's are dotted, and we don't put our client in that position.
It betters your chances of actually getting an accepted offer on that property when you are working with a local, good, and has a good reputation within the community lender and agent.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think that experience and the reputation and the exposure that you have in your community is definitely helpful in getting offers accepted. One other thing we just wanted to bring up too is most renters don't think that they can get approved for a purchase. But the truth is, on a couple shows before, we talked about maybe a renter can purchase something just as close as to what they've been renting, and maybe they do have the option.
Yeah, and they're building some wealth.
Maybe they just thought, whatever their circumstance was that put them out of purchasing or whatever it may be, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, correct. They should, you know, it doesn't hurt to reach out to you and just do a loan app, and you ask for a few documents and get them started that way. And then just with just a few documents, I know you can tell them, oh, you could purchase or not at a certain price. And then if that seems interesting to them, then you can get a few more documents for them. But it doesn't hurt. It's painless.
So what we're trying to say is, don't think that you are not able to purchase.
Right.
There's always a game plan. There's always a plan for everybody. So if your time isn't current, it might be in a month, it might be in 2 months, it might be in 3 months. It might be down the road. We don't know.
Yeah, you're right. People think that maybe, oh, I've had bad credit, but maybe they don't really have bad credit like they think they have.
Right.
They
might have a couple dings on their credit, but they don't realize that we have programs that will fit that.
Yeah.
So don't exclude yourself from the purchase scenario.
Right.
You might fit well within the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're coming into spring and summer, and we were going to talk about what can you do to spruce up your house to get it ready for the market. What ideas do we have for spring that are easy, affordable things to do?
Okay, so if you called me and you were thinking about selling your home, one thing Charlie and I would do was we would meet with you and we would walk through your home room by room, and we would make suggestions with you of what to do to get your home ready to sell if you were thinking of selling. What we also do is we have a staging consultation with you, and everybody, you may have a beautiful home, but everybody has more stuff in their home when they're living in it than like a model home does. Right? I mean, we just live in it. So we would consult with you about staging your home to have it prepared for sale, because when you go into a model home, and the reason you get all that emotion is it looks so good, and
you picture yourself there.
Yeah, you picture yourself there, and it's clean, and it looks beautiful. So that is our goal, is to make your home look like a model home so that it stands out against everybody else's.
And one thing is that if they need some staging items, you and Charlie already have staging items.
Yes, we have an inventory of stuff. So we might say, love your couch, but we have a different one that's a little smaller. And we'd be happy to put it in and switch it out. That's just a service we provide. But in just getting your home spring ready, I mean, and to sell, we always suggest fresh paint. Maybe your carpet's old. If your carpet's ripped and torn, the cat's been clawing at it, it might be time to get some.
Or
wood flooring.
steam clean your carpets. Have a professional come in, steam clean your carpets. One thing I'm going to be doing over the weekend is Home Depot has mulch on sale, 3 bags for $10. You can easily just clean up your flower beds in the front yard
and organize your stuff.
Yeah, your pots and things like that. Plant fresh flowers.
Plant fresh flowers.
Put some mulch in the front. Make sure your grass is cut. Make sure the paint.
Right.
Like
touch
you said.
up with your paint. One easy thing in kitchens is if you can't afford new cabinets or something, maybe you have a dated kitchen, paint them.
And put knobs.
It makes it instant remodel,
Freshens it up.
Maybe you have tile with grout. Freshen up the grout. It looks just those little things. People want to walk into a home that they're buying, and they want to see themselves in it, and it's clean, and they can see themselves living there.
And sometimes I can see past a lot of things. We've been in the business for a long time, but there's nothing more inspiring than walking into a really clean home.
Yes.
I'm okay if there's a little clutter here and there, or, family pictures, and you got a little bit more than you normally see, but a nice clean house.
Yes.
Just lets me know that they've cared about the property.
Exactly.
They've probably cared about other things here and paid attention to it.
Yeah, they've taken care of their home. That's exactly right. A nice clean home, smells good. Put in some plugins, clean, make your beds.
So if anyone wanted to reach out to you and to set up an appointment, what's the best way to contact you?
Best way is to call me direct on my cell, which is 661-373-9407. That is the best way. You can text me at that, 373-9407. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook, Debbie Briscoe, Realtor at Realty One.
Thank you guys for listening. You've been listening to Charlene with the At Home with Charlene show with Debbie today. I always appreciate you tuning in, and we are going to see you next week.